Welcome back to Silent Sales Machine Radio. We are your co-hosts. I'm Brian.
And I'm Robin Joy.
And this is Coach's Corner.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going, Robin?
Hey, it's going great.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, I know you're going to share something. We've been having a conversation about this for like 3 days, trying to dig in and support what we think is true, our kind of a theory here. And you've come up with some real interesting data points to look at.
Well,
tell us more about it.
We ran the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. We've always run the numbers on our own business.
Total data geeks.
Yeah.
You guys already know that.
But we don't necessarily share our numbers, right?
Right.
And we don't share our clients' numbers, but we work with a lot of clients. And part of that is your intellectual property, right? But so we actually found a way to prove it out without having to reveal our IP. Why slower moving products are actually your competitive advantage.
What? Slower moving products are a competitive advantage.
That's right.
All right. You got to tell me how that works.
It's kind of a mind blower, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay. Well, we've been teaching for years since we came into this. Actually, I mean, we just taught and we taught and we teach what worked for us.
Yeah.
Right? What works for us. And if we focus on these slower moving products. Okay?
And what we have seen have worked in many other people's businesses.
Absolutely.
We learn as we watch this happen.
For us, that's where the opportunity lives.
Where's the opportunity?
In the slower moving ASINs.
In the slower moving ASINs.
It seems counterintuitive, right?
It does. It seems counterintuitive.
So we're gonna get that picture all painted up today.
Okay.
Ready? Here is the difference. Like most of the people who are large sellers, the companies who are large sellers, Amazon included, their goal.
We're talking about very large sellers.
Yeah, their goal is they can't operate in our space. Like the space that we operate in is highly inefficient for them to come in and try and be successful.
They're no longer the small business guy. We all know that the small business guy is much more agile than the corporate machine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the difference between the small business guy that can move quickly.
Right. As the small business guy, volatility in a marketplace is our friend.
Yes.
As a large business like a Walmart or an Amazon, volatility is their enemy.
Right. Okay.
They have shareholders to answer to and all that. We have our own, we answer to ourselves.
Yeah. In our small company. Yes.
Yeah. But we also have the ability to play in spaces that they can't play in or they don't want to play. It just doesn't make sense for them to play in.
It just doesn't make sense for them to play in. Okay.
And we've been talking about this and teaching it for years. And now we've got the data to prove it. And we're actually going to share that data.
Okay.
You ready to unpack some of this?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So
don't stop listening now because there is a minimum.
A minimum what?
A minimum movement that we still recommend. It's got to be moving fast enough.
Yeah, it's got to be fast enough.
Don't quit on us here.
I'm not saying that.
Don't go look at all those ones that look like they're great, but they've never sold. They've never had a sale. Yeah.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about some minimum number of verified sales.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I will allow you to proceed.
But on the low end, right?
Yeah, but on the low end of that. Okay.
So everyone, when they first come into this, they think they want that Keepa chart that's got super smooth lines, right? Like the offer count never changes, the buy box never changes, the pricing is predictable, and it's moving thousands of units every month.
Because that intuitively feels safe.
It does, right?
We know what's going to happen.
Because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so we want that to be there. Unfortunately, we know what's going to happen, and it's not enough to keep us alive.
Well, we know what's going to happen, right? And that's actually, those kind of charts are where opportunity goes to die for us. Right? There's just no opportunity in those listings for small sellers.
And we get this a lot. Well, I can buy a tube of toothpaste at Target for the same price I can buy it at Amazon. Where's the profit?
Right.
Those are fast-moving toilet paper, paper towels, commodities. Those are fast-moving ASINs. There's variability to that. And so we're looking at, just like anything else, I don't care what you sell. I care that it does sell and that it sells for a profit. The other ASINs I'm not interested in. End of story.
If you look at the fastest moving products on Amazon, they're usually paper products, right? Paper towels, toilet paper.
Ask napkins. The year 2020.
Yeah, right? Oh, there's a whole other story there, yeah. But we live this, right? Our students live this. The faster velocity really equals tighter pricing zone.
Yeah.
Right? And there's really no room to operate.
You can't move that heavy lift. That's a heavy lift to move those really fast ones with a lot of inventory.
I see this a lot, and we get the questions a lot. Like, well, I'm trying to sell above the buy box, so I went and bought this, pack of toilet paper, and I listed it for $3 above the buy box, and I'm not getting any action.
Because you're on a listing that's moving so fast that you can't move it with your forklift.
The only reason above the buy box works is when you have an opportunity to differentiate. You cannot
potential.
Differentiate when everyone has the same product as you, available at the same time as you.
And there are so many of them.
That's what I mean.
One person can't make the difference there. Okay, so I'm hearing you say that what feels intuitive, that nice even buy box that never moves and has moves 50,000 times, 50,000 sales a month. These are not the ASINs we're looking for. Let me just be clear before we start down this road. We had fun with these are not the ASINs you're looking for. Just to be clear, I'm a Star Trek gal, not a Star Wars gal. Star Wars is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how
Trekkie.
I'm a Trekkie. Yeah. All right. But anyway, these are not the ASINs we're looking for.
Star Trek, less stuffed animals, more science. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So then if the alternative is true, that would mean that slower velocity ASINs actually provides a wider pricing variability or more room for you to make profit in a zone, that profit zone.
Okay. So that band that moves up and down is much wider.
100%. And
okay.
I'm gonna spill the tea on this in a minute. Okay. So what we did was we pulled.
I'm waiting because everything feels not intuitive to me so far.
We pulled hundreds of ASINs across multiple categories, and we broke them into velocity bands.
Okay.
So think about like number of monthly sold,
yeah.
or sold in the last month, whatever the data point is that Keepa gives us that comes directly from Amazon.
Yes.
Okay, so we weren't analyzing Keepa drops, which don't mean anything. We weren't, or I should say, aren't as meaningful anymore, right? The data that we trust is the one that comes right from Amazon, straight from the horse's mouth, the source of truth,
yes.
Which is monthly sold. Were sold in the last month. Okay, so then we looked at we categorized them or we grouped them by their sales velocity, and then we looked at the actual price ranges across those bands. Those
range of the pricing.
Yeah.
Okay, so where were your bands and what did you find?
Okay, good question. So let me just say what we found. Of course, Corey, of course, we already knew this because that's been our experience, right?
Yes, we knew this anecdotally, but we hadn't.
The hardest thing to get across when you're getting a new coaching client is that you're looking for the ones that look like dicey. They look dicey.
Well,
right?
They're not intuitively comfortable.
Yeah. So anyway,
the market's still uncomfortable.
So now we've got the receipts we're going to share. You ready?
Okay. All right. What happened?
So at my early stage, I evaluated 3 different pricing zones, and I've since expanded that, and I'm collecting more data. But the 3 velocity zones. Sorry, the 3 velocity zones that I looked at were 50 to 300 units a month.
Okay. In sales.
Yep. Yeah. 50 to 300 units a month in sales. Then 300 to 1,000 units a month in sales.
So we're not bothering with anything less than 50.
Nothing less than 50.
We want it to be at least a moving ASIN. Okay, so 50 to 300 and then 300
to 1,000.
To 1,000.
And then 1,000 plus.
1,000 plus. Okay.
Now, I've since expanded that to be like 1,000 to 3,000, 3,000 to 10,000, and 10,000 plus. So
there's more to come on
So there's more to come. Yeah, because
early results.
Well, this is the initial data set. And what's happening is the pricing variability on those groups of ASINs, and what I mean is like the range that ASIN is selling at is much wider on the slower moving products than it is on the faster moving products.
Which you kind of just explained to us.
Exactly. Right?
Again, not that intuitive, but true nonetheless.
Here's the hard data on my initial set of the hard statistics on my initial set of data.
Okay.
Okay. The 50 to 300 a month band, the velocity band, had a 33% pricing variability. 33%.
So that price is moving around 30. This is one of the data points that Jim Cockrum got Keepa to put into the product finder is that standard deviation. How much does that how wide does that range of pricing go? So you're taking it from the average price and how much movement is there.
No, I'm taking it from the low price to the high price.
Okay. So there's same thing. How wide is that?
Yeah. How wide is the range that it's selling in, right? 33% variability in the slower moving products.
All right. And so that's the 50 to 300.
Uh-huh.
And then what's the next band?
Let's just go to the 1,000.
Okay.
1,000 a month.
Compared to what?
15% variability in the 1,000 a month. And it goes down from there. Like it gets skinnier and skinnier. And when you start getting into like 50,000.
More and more movement.
Yeah.
More and more velocity, you have less and less volatility.
That's exactly right.
Which makes sense. It smooths it out.
Uh-huh.
The market got happy.
Right. Well, let's think about this. The difference between 15% variability and 33% variability is 120% more pricing variability. 120%.
So what's that in dollars? Like,
okay.
Take me into something that means something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a $30 product.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the slower moving band, that 50 to 300, that product sells anywhere between $30 and over $40.
Okay.
33%.
$10 is a big difference on a $40 product.
That's a big range, right? That thing is selling in.
Yeah.
That same $30 product in the fast band goes from $30 to $34.50. So
not near as much movement.
So $5.50 more than $5.50 less movement
of room.
Right? Of room, right?
In an ASIN that's only $30.
And I got to be honest with you, the businesses that I evaluate of people who are doing this business, that is where all the profit is. Like if you're making $6 gross profit on every ASIN that you sell, that's a good business.
So if we can get past how much this does not feel intuitive and just believe the data and go for it, we'll be ahead.
First of all, you got way more, double the room to operate, right? So you had 120%. 120% more room to operate in those ASINs that move more slowly.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at a buy box today, and this is like the most asked question, how many offers is too many offers?
Yeah.
Right? It's not about offers.
I don't even look at offers, only as an exception when I'm trying to see if I want to test or not.
There is offers do matter when certain conditions exist. And I do want to uncover that here in a minute. Okay. But the question isn't about how many offers are on the listing. How many is too many? All that doesn't matter. What matters is what are the chances that this price is going to be 20 to 30% higher in the next 30 days so I can sell mine in that range, so long as I have capital protection. Like I'm not going into something.
I'm not lighting $20 bills on fire.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's your profit potential, that 20 to 30%. That's your profit potential. And when you get into these faster moving ASINs and the range is like 8%, well, that's your profit margin. That's your potential margin. Is it at 8% versus 30%?
Right. So the actual sourcing decisions that's what you're talking about, right? And this is why we teach you that the volatile charts can be way better for you than the flat, nice, even pretty ones, right?
It is this is the skill. This is the skill that we're teaching people.
That people are trying to build.
Right. Yes. So there is a skill in sourcing, and it is identifying these sort of data points.
It takes experience.
It does, or it takes a picture.
Yeah. I mean, a picture and experience. I mean, this is why when you have a coach, they can lend you some of their experience and say, no, this is what this is showing you. This is what this is showing you. This matters. This doesn't matter. These are not the ASINs you're looking for.
Well, let's circle back to the offer count for just a minute, because this is what I love about Amazon and each listing on Amazon is each ASIN is its own economic environment, right? There's supply and demand. And
it's its own ecosystem.
It balances. Not every ASIN can sell 10,000 units a month. It's just not possible. There's not enough storage space, right?
And there's not enough inventory.
That's what there's not enough inventory. There's not enough storage space.
There's not enough supply,
not enough supply. Yeah. But you will see this in action when you come to a listing where you've seen that offer count spike up. This is the classic demand is not meeting supply.
Yes.
Right? This is when you're like, I bought something from a list and then it tanked.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you bought directly off the list and didn't understand how to use a list.
Right, because you didn't understand how to rabbit trail a list. Sometimes it happens, too. Yeah. Like I used to lament all the time, like everyone found the ASIN the same day I did.
Yeah.
Because I found it organically.
Yeah.
I say organically, but guess what? Everyone can find it organically.
Yeah.
That's the sourcing skill.
Right. To identify which ones you want to pull out of that.
Right.
Okay.
So the one case where offer count does matter is when it is outpacing demand.
Okay.
And so what happens is you get more supply than demand, and then that collapses the price.
Yes.
That market is going to correct itself.
Yes.
Right?
That market is going to correct itself, but it corrects itself the other way too. Then all the offers go away, they sell out, and then it often will come back and become much more usable again. Then it goes back into that range.
And this mainly happens on those ASINs where there isn't consistent demand, or at least not to the level of toilet paper. Right?
Yeah. So you'll see the ASINs that they try to settle out that by bringing in more inventory, a whole bunch of inventory, and try to settle out that price. But often it is a one-time deal that they can get that inventory, and that's why it has to come back and correct itself.
Yes, right.
If it could sustain, then it becomes one of those 50,000 unit sellers.
And the truth is that's just not every ASIN cannot do that,
no,
right?
Of course not.
All right, so let's talk about why this is actually inevitable.
Okay.
Right? If you think about what it takes to produce all the toilet paper that is needed.
Again, ask the year 2020. It was a real problem.
Or Kleenex or paper towels or, eggs and meat, whatever, all these things they're considered commodities.
Yes.
If an ASIN sells, it can't sell 50,000 units a month if
it doesn't have 50,000 units
of inventory
a month available. Right. It will not sell 50,000 if it doesn't have 50,000 to sell.
And something that
ever. That will never happen.
Or more. Usually it's overstocked.
Usually more.
Right? Yeah. Usually there's more. Yeah. So at 100,000 units a month,
you can pre-sell some, but it can't sustain that on pre-sales.
At 100,000 units a month, you need like a 3x coverage. Okay, in order to be able to sustain your 300,000 units in the pipeline, in order to sustain. This is going back to the whole manufacturing and supply chain.
Yeah.
Right? The distribution network. So manufacturing in transit.
I learned about this in college.
Exactly.
Maybe high school. Yeah.
What's in transit, what's in the warehouses, what's in the fulfillment centers, what's on the way to customers. That whole supply chain thing.
Oh, that's right. Because as soon as it sells out, it's got to be replenished.
Yep.
And so there's got to be 2 or 3 times as much in the system. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll buy that.
So this is why you will not be able to hop on a paper towel listing and sell yours for $3 above the buy box, because
there may be some paper towel listings, but generally speaking, you're talking about the commodities.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
absolutely. That's not a reselling operation. That whole supply chain thing I'm talking about, that's really the industrial supply chain, engineering and science and mathematics behind all that stuff.
And we are just resellers.
We're resellers.
Arbitrage. Yes. We're trying to get the middle between where we can buy it and where we can sell it and get the profit in between.
Well, let me just finish painting that picture for you, because people would love to be on a listing that sells 100,000 units a month. Here's the reality of that, okay? Assuming your product costs $2.50, landed costs, we say, like your all-in cost, okay? That is just an inventory, $750,000 that you have to have in inventory every month.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't include your advertising, storage fees.
So my 5 or 6 units, or even my 30 units, are not going to.
This is what I was going to say.
There.
The 12 units you're sending in, they do not make a ripple on those listings.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and they're not going to pull that buy box up, which is what
they are not going, because the distribution network is saturated.
So you may as well just go buy a McDonald's franchise and make the same hamburger that they make all over the world, and make these skinny profits and just make more of them. But you got to, how much does it cost to buy a McDonald's franchise?
I don't even know anymore. But I'm just saying, those are legitimate business models, right?
Absolutely.
Like you play the game of selling more units to create more margin dollars, and you're willing to give up margin percentage. Ask Walmart. Well,
I don't think anybody that is listening to what we have to say wants to buy a McDonald's franchise.
Right.
They don't want to do it that way. They want to bootstrap. They want to take as little money out of their pocket as they can and get moving as fast as they can. So these are not the ASINs that you're looking for.
Well, let's talk about the ASINs that you are looking for.
Okay, what ASINs are we looking for?
If the opposite, if we're preaching the antithesis of that whole thing, right, of 300,000 units available that you're manufacturing or whatever, and in your pipeline, when that creates that stability in the marketplace that we were talking about, which is, the whole economics course, and I'm going to forget the guy's name right now, but there's one guy that is like responsible for this, or he's the leading theorist on this. Mm-hmm. The markets will stabilize.
Just like you don't do math on camera.
I know. John something.
Yeah.
It stabilizes in favor of the consumer. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the supplier is there to take what they can.
Yes. And often the largeness, what's the word I want? The scale. The scale of it is the only way they can make any money.
Exactly.
We don't have the scale.
We do not.
We don't have that kind of scale. When we talk about scale, that's not what we're talking about. You can do that eventually, but you got to start somewhere.
As a consumer, I don't like markets where there's volatility.
No.
Like I heard someone say, like I want to be able to know that I paid $4 for my tube of toothpaste this month. I'll pay $4 next month, and the month after that, and the month after that, and the month after that. As it is right now, when I get prices of your items in your cart have changed, I'm like, what? It was $4.39 and now it's $4.69? What the heck's going on here? Mm-hmm. Right? That's the variability that you get on those
exactly.
30 cents.
Oh, well, the guy who's selling it at $4.39 ran out of stock. Now you got to buy it from the other guy.
Yes, exactly.
Guess what? That was me.
No, it wasn't. Not on $4.69. It wasn't.
I'm saying I'm the one who is there when your stock runs out, ready to take advantage of that volatile pricing possibility.
So the market from the consumer standpoint rewards that stability.
Yeah.
When you've got that much inventory in the network, it's saturated. Everyone's got the same product. Everyone's got the same delivery time. Like I said, there's no option to differentiate.
So there's a key thing that we teach that does not happen if the warehouses are saturated with that inventory. Mm-hmm. Right? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, you're talking about the multi-dimensional buy box.
The multi-dimensional buy box. It does not happen.
That's right.
When the warehouses are all stuffed full of the same item.
Yeah,
when does it happen?
You get no pricing variability when the distribution network is stuffed.
Right. Okay. So I'm looking for corners in the warehouse that are not stuffed. Wait, Jim Cochran calls this underserved ASINs.
Yes, these are the ASINs you're looking for.
These are the ASINs.
You're looking for the underserved ASINs where the market is not settled because sometimes there's enough supply to meet demand and other times there isn't.
Right.
Right?
Yes. So we want to be there if you want my supply, you got to pay a little bit more for it. Mm-hmm. And if there's room for it, they will. Mm-hmm. This is what we're testing for.
That's right.
This is what we're testing for.
And this is why we don't sell commodities usually, right?
And I mean, this is why we don't sell, at least on those super fast moving ASINs. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm starting to see from the data so far, more to come on this, and there are exceptions, but that is a kind of a sweet spot between 50 and 300, and we're going to test the boundaries on that, units sold per month, that I might just want to put in my product finder when I'm looking for ASINs, because so what else can I do? I know that you're trying to fill the database and you teach people how to do that. Mm-hmm. Are we there yet?
What are you talking about?
Turn it upside down?
Oh, yeah.
I like to turn it upside down. How
I know,
can we turn
you like
this
to
upside
flip
down?
the script, right?
I like to flip the script.
All right. So, here's what I do is when I'm working with coaching clients and I'm like, okay, let's fill your database with matched ASINs. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we'll go out and mine a bunch of stores and find all their ASINs and
find all the ASINs that match their units,
their stores.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, like I said, by default, Keepa gives that data back to you sorted by sales rank, which is most popular to least popular. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we flip the script. So reverse sort that puppy.
Okay, explain. Reverse.
So by default, when Keepa's giving you results, it's giving you those results sorted by the BSR number. So
the bestseller rank.
Where number one is the number one bestseller rank for that product in its category.
Okay. So the closer you are to one, the more popular the listing is.
And what you will see is if you put the column in that is monthly sold and put it right next to it, is that everything that's like single digit is like $10, $50, $100,000 a month. Not dollars, sorry, units a month.
The single digit is 10 or 15.
Single digit BSR is the monthly sales velocity is 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 units a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You said 10, 15. I got lost. Yeah. Okay. 10,000.
10,000 units a month. Right. Okay. So here's what I used to teach people to reverse sort.
These are not the ASINs we're looking for.
You could say that a couple more times. Okay.
I like it.
Reverse
I wish I could come up with the Star Trek
sort by sales rank number. Okay. But then there's even a better way to do this.
Yeah.
Sort by monthly sold or sold in the last month. Reverse sort that. Right?
Lowest to
From
highest.
From lowest to highest. Because if you're looking, here's what happens. Everyone, when I do the reverse sort by BSR, they're like, but look at that sales rank. That sucks. I would never want to sell on that listing. But here's the thing. We've already filtered for velocity, right?
So it's at least enough 50. To test.
Now, are you going to have some seasonal things mixed in there that don't sell 50 anymore right now? Yeah, that's true.
That's why you got to look at it.
You're going to have exceptions. But the general rule is reverse sort it. Every one of those already has velocity.
I love this. I love turning it upside down.
Right. That's what we do. We always turn it upside down. So instead of looking for how do we get a better price, we look for how do we get a better listing.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I'm with you. It's starting to become more intuitive.
Okay. So like I said earlier, not every product is capable of selling 10,000 or more units a month. There just isn't that kind of demand across the board, right? And the truth is most products exist in this middle ground, right? Sub 1,000 units of sales per month.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the majority of your ASINs are.
So you have more choices there too.
Yeah, you do have more choices there. But if you want to go play with the big boys, then...
I mean, you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you can.
It's a different game. But
it is a completely different game.
Yeah. Wholesale sometimes will play with those guys, but that's a different game.
So what we're looking for is that middle ground where things are fast enough to sell consistently, but not so fast that the distribution network is saturated. That's the key.
Because we're looking for those pockets in the warehouses or those specific, certain warehouses that don't have any inventory. And what's Amazon going to, we can't control that. But what's Amazon going to do? When I send in inventory, they're going to say, oh, over here in Chicago,
we don't have any of those.
We're getting some requests for this, and we're having to send it far. We don't have any. I'm going to put this guy's units there. Oh, all of a sudden that guy gets an advantage. That's what we're looking for.
Well, Amazon really is a logistics company, not a product company. This is what they're good at logistics.
They don't make products. They're good.
No, they do make products. They've got the Amazon Basics.
That's true. They do. Now, they have companies that make products.
Yeah, but I mean, at least at their roots, they were logistics.
Yeah.
And logistics is how you solve a lot of people's problems, and you get paid for solving problems.
And I'll say it again: Amazon has created a customer, whether they intended to or not, who is in most cases way more concerned about time than price.
That's what go back to that. Solving problems. Jim uses the example all the time. I got my kid's birthday tomorrow. I need something for the party. I need the gift, whatever it is. I go to Amazon. I look for it. There's one that's available to me same day delivery or next day delivery. It costs $5 more than everything else, $10 more than everything else, $20 more than everything else. People are like, oh, thank goodness. I can get that here tomorrow. Yep. You just solved a problem.
Yep.
So this moral dilemma that a lot of people face about, well, can I realistically, you solved a problem. That's what you get paid for, right? Sorry, I'm not trying to talk bad about anyone who has that moral dilemma. I did too in the beginning, but the reality is when you get into the business landscape, there are few moral dilemmas. Yeah. At least in this particular
and you have to decide how you feel about them. And, don't go against your own morals. We're not asking anybody to do that.
Yeah. No, I know. But just if you see it differently.
Yeah.
See it as
sometimes it's easier really to realize you're not really going against your beliefs.
If people didn't want to pay it, they wouldn't buy it.
Mm-mm. You're not making anybody buy anything.
You're not forcing anyone at gunpoint to buy your product that costs $5 more than everyone else's.
Yeah.
It's their choice.
That's a whole other conversation. Yeah. But
anyway, okay.
So
what does this mean for you as the seller?
What does this mean for me as the seller? It gives me a really strong place to go look for ASINs that what do you call it? Stack the deck in my favor.
Stack the deck in your favor, right?
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Turn it upside down.
You turn it upside down, or you set your filters, like you were saying, from that sold in the last month from 50 to 299. If you say 300, it goes to 300 plus, I think. So 50 to 299, then you're getting everything that's in that sweet spot we were talking about.
Right. Okay? So exhaust that first.
Absolutely. Yeah. And here's what happens is we see these ASINs all the time that maybe they got 50, and especially we're going into seasonal like Q4, 50, 100, 300, 500 units a month, and then they trail off. That's a lot of what the seasonal pattern is. Most of the time you see that sort of trading in a range of 50 to 100 or 50 to 300 anyway.
Yeah.
Those are the places. And sometimes the 50 goes away, right? But it'll come back. And so those are the ASINs that we like to play on.
Okay, so when you see 17 sellers on a listing with no clear winner, then that seems like it would be a knife fight.
Right, but really it's just the market hasn't normalized. Everyone's in there with the inventory they got, and it's shuffling around.
They're trying to find the spot that they can sell at.
It's, again, fast enough to sell consistently, but slow enough that the market hasn't optimized all the profit away. That's our opportunity. I like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's our opportunity.
Yeah.
Something that still has profit in it.
So, okay. So stop
Profit
chasing
potential.
those pretty buy boxes.
Okay.
Just give up on the pretty buy boxes. I mean, sometimes you'll find some of those.
To me, that volatile price change and move it all, that's pretty.
It's a hello, beautiful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And let me tell you, as I was gathering this data and I'm seeing the Keepa charts, the actual Keepa charts for these in the slower moving price zones compared to and I can't wait to share it, to the faster moving, not price zones, velocity zones, compared to the faster moving velocity zones, you see a lot more variability in there. And that is what I love. And that's what I try and teach everyone is so long as you've got capital protection, in other words, you're not extending yourself or exposing yourself to too much risk, that's where the opportunity lives.
Okay.
So look for the movement, not stability, right? A $10 spread beats a $4 spread every single time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay, what's the mindset shift here?
Okay.
Because those slower moving ones seem chaotic and risky, right?
Yeah, it seems risky and chaotic. So it's kind of still not intuitive. It's counterintuitive. So, but what you're telling me is that these ASINs that initially feel chaotic and risky, that says to you saturated. Unsaturated.
Right. The other ones that say have no movement, that says saturated.
Okay.
To me.
All right. See, it's not intuitive yet.
I know. Keep getting it backwards. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a difference. Saturated is like no movement. Unsaturated is movement.
They still have room for you to find that profit in them.
Yep. Similarly, I would say if I can give you a visual on this, like the offer count. If the offer count is remaining relatively stable, that means there's people in and out on that listing that can only provide enough to meet demand in the moment. And so you never get an overabundance of supply or a large number of offer counts.
Right. And they may never have tested a higher market that might pull that price back up.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right. So let's be clear here. Like I don't want to get out and say, I keep saying capital protection because we're not day trading. Our goal here is not timing the market.
When we say capital protection, we're putting things in place to give us a pretty good chance that we're at least going to get our money back. Worst case scenario, right?
Doesn't mean I'm not sitting there with a backstop price. I like to call it a backstop price, right? So when that person runs out and I'm sitting right there, they were selling at 28, I'm sitting here at 34, and they run out, and boom, I become the next person in line. Yes, that's when
you see those pop-ups.
That's when you see those buy box lines pop right up. That's exactly
I love
right.
Those.
Right. So as long as you've got evidence for that and you've got capital protection, those are the games I want to play in.
Okay. All right. So
Makes
that
sense?
makes it a sustainable model.
It is a sustainable. There's so many of these out there. How many ASINs on the Amazon platform? .com.
Just on the .com, 1.4 billion
ASINs.
With a B.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did some real quick, as a quick aside, I did some other analysis.
You're doing so well.
In my lead oh no, I'm going off script. I did some analysis in my lead vault when I was on a coaching session the other day, and I was looking at my 60,000 ASINs, including duplicates, that are in there, which is nothing. I mean, fill that thing up, right? Fill it up to 100 uniques. That's where your opportunity lies, by the way. And I was like, let me just run some quick math on this. Show me all of the ASINs that haven't ever been profitable over the last 6 months.
Oh, yeah? What'd you find?
11,000 of them had never been profitable over the last 6 months. So that means that 5 out of 6 of the ASINs in my database have been profitable at least one time in the last 6 months.
Ooh, that's a thought. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't shared that with you yet. I mean, now these are 3P Mercury's filters, which I have no reason not to trust, but I would still like to validate that data on some sample sizes. But wow. That just goes to show you the variability that is in the market. And it's also goes to show you, I don't fill my database with ASINs that move more than 1,000 units a month. That's just not the place space I play in.
Because you already knew what you're trying to show.
Yeah.
Okay. So where can we get more information about because you're still doing some more studies on this.
Yeah, I would just say
there's more to come on this, right?
We're still digging on the data. In fact, it's digging right now. Okay. And I'm exploring different categories. I did this in 3 categories: arts and crafts, home and kitchen, and grocery.
Okay.
Okay. I had to throw some of the grocery ones out because Amazon Fresh and Whole Foods shows up and it does paint a false range when they show up on a listing, and kind
of corrupts the data.
It does corrupt the data, so I toss those out. But and in different price ranges. Like I said, I've already added a couple more velocity bands, and we'll do it in price ranges too, and see if this is. I don't think so, but if it's applies more in the say $10 and under space, I think you're going to get a lot less variability in the $10 and under space because there's less room.
Right. There's only $10 to work with.
One of the main reasons we say raise your average sales price is for this reason.
Yeah.
You've got more variability.
Bigger dollar variability. Yeah.
Real quick, if you want to see your profit zones in action, check out the Path Profit Zones Chrome extension at officialolsons.com/profit zones.
Officialolsons.com.
All O's, no E's.
No E's, OLSON.
One word.
/profit zones. Officialolsons.com/profit zones. All right. Do you have a quote for us today, Brian?
I do. We've quoted this guy multiple times. On
this guy.
This legend multiple times on the show, and he just keeps coming
I don't know if anybody will recognize this name.
Yeah, probably not. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who said that?
That's Thomas Edison.
Oh, that guy! I know that guy.
Yeah, I've heard the quote before. I didn't connect that it was Thomas Edison until I was preparing for this episode.
Okay, so read it again.
Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. So this, to me, is building that sourcing skill.
Yeah. It's work to build that skill.
It takes some experience. You got to get some reps in.
But eventually you'll wear those 2x4s down and there'll be 2 toothpicks and it won't be so much work because you've built the skill.
You have to be willing to fail. This and you have to be willing to take a risk too, by the way, which is failure in itself is
We're trying to keep the risk as low as possible.
I'm going to go off script one more time before we wrap this thing up. Okay. I saw this great TikTok I should have quoted him, but it was Alex Hormozy who gave this analogy of how to succeed in business.
Okay.
And he equated it to playing a video game.
Aha.
Okay. You remember this?
Yes, I do. We listened to this together. We listened to some of these together, yeah.
So what happens when you first get to a level of a video game that you have never been in?
You die.
You die.
And you die. And then you die again, and you die, and you die.
Until you figure out how to get through. I didn't die. Until you figure out how to get through it, and then you get to the next level, and then you die. And you die. And you keep having to respawn so that you can go.
But you go back to the beginning, you go really fast. You get all the way up to the part you've never been before, and then you die.
Yep.
And you die.
Yeah.
And you die.
And that's what this business is. You have to be willing to take those chances and die, quote unquote, die. Fail. Oh, that one didn't work. What did I learn? That one didn't work.
Lose your energy force.
Yeah. Yeah. And you keep doing that until you master the level.
Yeah.
And this is what we like to say. It's been around in this community as long as I have. Bolt this down before you move on to something else.
Yes.
Right? Get this thing locked in. In other words, solve the level where you can solve that level anytime that you want.
Yeah.
And then go on to whatever is your next thing. So the other thing I get from coaching clients is, okay, what's next? What's next is more of the same for you, right? In a very loving way.
Of course. Right? So let's take it from a different angle.
You haven't completed
let's
this level
Let's do this
yet.
when this monster comes up.
Right.
What did we find out?
Yeah.
There are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
How do we overcome the monsters? Let's try this and see if it'll overcome that monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So when we're looking at a Keepa chart, and we can look at Keepa charts differently now because of what you've told us. A little more insight there. Maybe we're second guessing whether that messy listing is good for us or not. That messy pricing in the listing anyway.
Wait, you know what solves that?
What solves that? Let's go test more ASINs.
More ASINs, yeah. Yeah, when it looks messy, just go test it.
Go test it.
As long as you got capital protection.
It's just a test.
Yeah. Just a test. What's the worst going to happen? You're going to respawn and start over. Right?
And you're going to do it with more information than you had before.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go test some more ASINs.
Let's go test
Great to see you, everybody. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for joining us for today's episode. But before I let you go, let's spend a couple minutes with my good friend. We have him on about once a week, Mr. Jeff Schick of jeffschick.com. If you go to their website, you can put his entire team on retainer for just a few dollars a month. It's only $1 for your first month if you use the coupon code MISTAKE, jeffschick.com. He's always got a good tip for us. What do you got for us today, my friend?
So what I often see sellers making a quote unquote mistake by trying to file LLCs and trademarks themselves. And so that's one thing I wanted to bring to people's attention is that we actually do file trademarks and LLCs for both clients that are on retainer who get a discounted rate, as well as for clients that are not on retainer that want assistance with it. And so you can reach out to us. We're happy to give you guys a quote, especially for new sellers. We have new seller packages that we can put together that include, discounts on the retainer plus the LLC and trademarks so that you get exactly what your services or what services your business needs for, a successful startup. And so we can get that filed for you and make sure that everything is done properly. So we're here to help the sellers, all throughout, not just with the legal and policy issues that happen on Amazon and Walmart, but also with, setting up their business properly and getting those trademarks and LLCs.
Fantastic. Yeah, you provide a host of other services besides just legal and policy. I'm glad we had a chance to mention that one today. So yeah, excellent work. Keep up the great work. If you didn't realize it, as the listener to this show, the vast majority of the leadership team in our community have Jeff and his team on retainer. For a few dollars per month, you can sleep easier at night knowing you've got policy and legal experts in your corner, and the bill is covered for a host of services just by paying a few dollars per month. So thanks, Jeff. Let's have you back again next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Talk to you then.
All right.